It's time for Cup of Red, so let's fill your cup with rad pop culture vibes. And now your over-caffeinated hosts, Mike and Katie. Hey kids, welcome to another exciting episode of Cup of Rad.
Hello, everyone.
That's right, I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Katie.
And we are going to talk to you today about what to put in your cup and how to make it rad. Step 1, find your favorite cup. Step 2, find your favorite rad beverage. Step 3, pour said beverage into your cup, and now it is rad. Thank you so much and have a good day.
And this has been Rad Cups. That's what we do, spreading information, right?
Yeah, it's the whole idea. That's what you got to throw out there now. You got to be like, hey, they just told us how to properly fill your... Yeah. Stop what you're doing and listen to this right now.
Yeah, this is super important, super critical. This means everything right now.
Otherwise, you will never know how to fill your cup again.
Yeah. So now that we've gotten past that, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're going to talk about a lot of things.
Oh,
so many things. And a lot of things that are pretty awesome. We went to our favorite coffee place and we found something fantastic. They had a whole burger set up the other weekend and it was marvelous.
It was.
It's called Plant Based. It's a local company, which is really awesome, and they make plant-based food, and
it's awesome. Our son loves their logo because it's a tank made out of vegetables.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And they were serving up damn burgers.
Yes.
So it's a veggie-based burger, and they were
very proud of it too. It was just, you want a damn burger? Not just a burger. You want a damn burger.
Right? And it had a plethora of good stuff on it, all from them. And they had also this really special bun from Flower Girl Bakery.
Yes.
And what it had on it, the reason why I want to promote this and talk about it right now, is it had something fantastic on it. It had cashew cheese called Tigerzord.
Yes.
And it was delicious because it kind of was like garlic butter bread.
Yeah, stuff. That's what it was. It's like a white, like herb cheese spread.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, yeah, it's made out of cashews and lots of herbs and everything.
And you'll see, I'll post on, it'll already be posted, so you'll have seen it. But the logo is based off of Power Rangers, and Kiddo loves it.
Yes.
And he was very excited for it, and he even grabbed onto the box and thrusted it like it was his morpher and yelled, Tigerzord! So
it was pretty epic.
Right?
Well, I think that helped him actually eat it because he would to at least be open to trying it, and then he loved it.
Yeah,
but because of the style and the brand, it was like, well, this is cool. I want to have Tigerzord spread.
Right? So something else we got to experience there too was Flower Girl had this thing called the Bun Bar.
It's like a sundae bar, but with cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
Please let that sink in. The epicness of that. It is create your own cinnamon bun on site.
Yep.
You got to choose your base. You got to choose your icing. You got to choose your toppings.
So your base was either a cinnamon or a chocolate.
Yeah.
bun.
And then you had cream cheese or buttercream, frosting,
Whips,
and then you had a whole bunch of like cookie. It's like a froyo bar of cookie toppings. Yep. Mike had espresso glaze on his
with pretzels and the buttercream.
Yeah,
on a chocolate bun.
Mine had graham on it with the buttercream and the cinnamon and chocolate drizzle. It was like a s'more cinnamon bun. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that was great. Like, I hope they keep that thing around when they do their little pop-ups here and there, because that was a great idea and was super fun.
It's super decadent.
Yeah. Cool Kiddo had the buttercream with the cinnamon bun and brownie and then the chocolate drizzle, right?
Yes.
And
it was excellent.
It was super awesome. It was just like, oh my goodness. And with that, because our weekend couldn't be complete, especially when we were traveling down the valley, we had to hit up Toy Traders.
Of course.
And it was more or less like we hadn't been there for a while. And
you know what was nice is that back corner, they'd done some renovations, and so there was new dioramas to look at, and that was really fun. I know you had posted that on our story.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see. And it's, you could get caught up just looking and finding new figures and finding where things are. And because there's basement levels and then street level and then all these windows in the sky. And it's phenomenal.
The dioramas alone at Toy Traders are completely worth going in and seeing.
Well, yeah, you see, I saw something brand new today that's literally in front of my face every time I walk in the store, and I hadn't even noticed it.
Well, yeah.
It's a giant BB-8 head right there. I was like, really? That's not new? No, it's been here for a while. Okay.
Well, they move some things around as well, so it's easy to get lost in it because there's so many amazing things in there.
Yeah.
And what we ended up coming out with was the 112 Joker from Mezco.
Yes.
And with that 112 Mezco, it's like a punk rock style.
I like it because it's just its own version.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
I'm David S. Pumpkins. We'll get back to that in Halloween. Don't worry.
Don't worry, it'll show up.
But I'm super happy with it. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty different styling. It goes really good with the Sovereign Knight Batman that I have.
Yeah.
And something else I got that I was really excited for was the NECA diorama. You've been looking at it this for the longest time. And then now this just forces Katie to finally do those final trades.
Yeah, because now I'm like, well, crap, I have to pay for... Because I have the Mezco, Harley Quinn, and Wonder Woman both on hold for when they do come out. And I need to sell stuff to be able to pay for those.
Yeah, right? So we built that today, and it is really fantastic.
It was adorable. It was like Christmas morning, and Mike's like, yeah, I bought myself a playset. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so they sat there and put it all together.
When I was doing it, I said we should just wait and had you get that for Christmas. Right?
Yep.
But now I'd be able to do so much more with my figures.
Yeah.
As a little I'm break.
Sitting here looking at all my figures and some of the ones that don't ever really get any time on there. I'm like, but then this could go on there and this could go on there. And it just, because it's so limitless with the different changes you can make, and it's such a basic background at the same time. It's just a street.
The cityscape, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that, because they're going to be able to do the Batman stuff and all these things.
Yeah.
And especially because those NECA turtles are coming in from GameStop at the end of September.
Oh,
so there's gonna be lots going on with that. The figure stuff, because of school, will be sporadic. It might not be every day like we had been doing, because the first and foremost is the podcast, and the figure stuff photography is going to be for me.
Well, then you can take your time and then bank up for some things.
Yeah.
Right? So
it'll be a combo of both.
Yeah.
Quick shots on the phone, or if I take my time to do some epic action shots. But we'll see what happens. With that,
maybe I could actually attempt to see if I could do anything better, which terrifies the bejesus out of me. No, you just
do it. Yeah.
You're so much better at it than I am.
But you just need to do it.
But I just don't try, right? So let's be honest.
So we had a pretty fun weekend with some really cool additions to our collection.
Yeah,
the beauty of Toy Trader Dollars, we're able to recycle our collection at the place and keep getting new things. And
well, it was fun to be able to walk out of there and be like, yeah, I just spent that money and I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, right?
Which is even better.
Exactly. That's why we got to sell some more stuff that's just not really in our wheelhouse anymore.
Yeah.
So we saw some other things that we really liked. The Obi-Wan hot toy. That thing is freaking awesome. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure on it yet. Yeah.
Well, being a deluxe figure as well, a little bit more money. There's some important stuff. I just made my first payment on my... Captain Marvel hot toy.
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited. One step closer to owning it.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Will it be here in time for Christmas? Or will it come in January?
Probably in January. Oh, well. After Christmas presents are fun, too.
Right.
So, have we watched anything?
Well, we have, actually. We finally watched Alita.
Yes.
So what did you think of that?
I really enjoyed it. Like, I had like a weird sense of euphoria after it. It's hard to explain. Like, I didn't know what to expect at all. I was expecting something like hardcore gritty and like super edgy. And I think mainly I was impressed and surprised on how happy she was. She made me really happy because she was just so positive and so, it sounds funny, but childlike, right? She was so upbeat and such a contrast to the rest of the world. And it made me really giddy. It was kind of strange. I feel a little trippy about it, actually. But what about you?
It was a pretty good movie for what it was. I wasn't disappointed.
She was super badass.
It was like a remnant of 2000. You can definitely feel the 90s, 2000 influence from Rodriguez and Cameron in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I dug it. I do hope that they're able to figure it out because it kind of ends on that cliffhanger, right?
Oh, yeah, that was just like, what? We don't get to finish the story?
So, But yeah, it was really good. I don't really have a lot to say.
No, it was just like
you summed it all up, so I can't really,
no, that's good.
like it's something if you're into that style of the anime and all
I don't know if I'd really watch it over and over again. Not gonna be,
Yeah.
To be honest about that, it was fun, but I don't know about that. But it was, to me, it was almost like this weird feel-good movie. So, except for the fact that it was like really sad at the end, and I wanted to see more, and you were like rooting for her type thing. But yeah. It was like it was a weird. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
it's one of those ones where when I saw it after, I was like, it would have been kind of cool to actually have seen that in theaters. But
yeah, exactly.
It is what it is, and we saw it. It's definitely something, if you like the anime style of films, that's something you should check out.
Yeah. So, on to the main event, Mike. Why are we here today?
Nickelodeon.
That's right. Nickelodeon cartoons.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing a whole where we promised you months ago that we're going to do some things about cartoons, and
now it's finally here.
It finally arrived. I bet you didn't see that coming.
I know, right? So Nickelodeon is a huge part of our cartoon love. They still make cartoons that we enjoy. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to go through some of our favorites.
Yeah, so for me, Nickelodeon, because it wasn't up here at first, some of the stuff showed up on YTV. Oh. And from that, the one that really caught my eye back when I was a kid was Ren and Stimpy. And
oh Lord,
I watch it now and I go, wow,
this explains who Mike is.
That's not that funny.
No.
But then some of it I watched and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Right. So it's a hit and miss tune for sure, especially when we watched some of those clips we were going through some clips.
Well, it shows though that it was more like this feels like I shouldn't be watching this.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why the enjoyment was there. It's not really funny. It's just like, this is different.
This is edgy. This is different. This defines me now as a child.
This is me now.
This is me now.
Well, see, for me, Ren and Stimpy was never part of our household because it was just like, what is that crap?
Well, I can see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the log. This is a log. It rolls downstairs. Da 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 da. And the happy joy. It's time, kids, for the happy joy song.
Yep.
And it's just really strange, and I think. It's got that Tex Avery style of just bonkers, banana pants crazy.
Yeah.
Mixed with some really questionable thoughts on life and where it went. But I still like it. I like Stimpy. Billy West is amazing. But yeah, I actually don't know if I'd show Kiddo. No. Just because it's...
He's not going to find the enjoyment out of it.
It's twisted.
Yeah.
It's twisted. But that was one of my first introductions really to Nickelodeon.
Yeah. See, for me, Nickelodeon, honestly, the first thing I think of is Rugrats.
Yeah.
That was a huge part of my childhood. Like, Rugrats was super special. You know what? Total side tangent. I was just looking online on Instagram, and my Pulp Riot does the hair color that I use, had a page, and they're doing like costume stuff. And this one girl was dressed up, looked just like Cynthia.
Oh, weird.
She had her hair all glued up bright yellow and everything, and it was funny because I flipped through it and the kid was like, what is that? I was like, that's a doll. Speaking of Rugrats with that, and
what are some of your favorite memories of
You know
Rugrats?
what, honestly, the one that I remember the absolute most was the Passover episode. And the special with learning about Hanukkah and all that sort of stuff as well, but learning about some like actual religious beliefs through Rugrats and historical things, right?
Well, they did push boundaries more than other
right, and it was just such a cool way of being able to show that and express that with different people. And I thought that was really interesting, and that one really stuck to me as a kid. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, looking back at it now, you realize how much they did try to push stuff. I know they had done an episode where Phil and Chucky decided that they wanted to wear dresses as well. Because why not? Because they're comfortable. Why do we have to wear pants?
I ask that all the time.
Right? Why are we constrained to this?
Why are we wearing pants? I'm not wearing pants right now. It's truth.
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, it's truth. I'll tell you. I ain't wearing no pants. That's why I podcast. I don't do videos. There's your answer. It's not really because of my speech impediment thing.
No, it's just because I don't like to wear pants.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to have to like censor it out all the time.
You realize now, the next video that you do, we are going to have to blur something out just to leave that illusion. It's going to be good stuff. Rugrats to no pants. This is fantastic.
Hey, Tommy didn't wear pants.
Tommy did not. He Donald ducked it.
Yeah.
And you know,
well, he had his diaper, I guess.
He did, yeah. But it's hilarious. I really enjoyed it. And
what are your favorite characters?
I love Tommy.
Yeah.
He's just so cute, and he's just so
optimistic.
Yes. And Chucky is hilarious because he's nervous and anxiety ridden, right? And he's just so worried, and I loved his hair. And yeah, so it's good stuff.
I find that interesting because right now I'm in a module about child mental health.
Oh yeah.
And disorders and anxiety and all that. And Katie's like, it was hilarious that he had anxiety.
Not hilarious, but it shows as a child that I was just like, I felt a connection to that, right?
Yeah.
And something that you are and something that you want to be, right?
Oh, yeah. So, you always gravitate to characters that you want to be more than you are. Because it can sometimes be too painful to be that, right?
Yeah. It was interesting, too, how much their parents... You know, especially if you go back and watch some of the episodes now and see how much they were just like, yeah, cool. The parents just let the kids go on all these adventures, but they are still always there for them. Considering it was strange when you think like Disney movies, no one has two parents, and other than Chucky, everyone had parents.
Yeah.
And different dynamics for things. You had the parents that were happy, and one wasn't more dominant than the other. And then Phil and Lil's parents, the mom was definitely more dominant and much more crucial. And then of course the same with Angelica, her mom was the power, you know, but their relationship wasn't that happy, and so it showed almost that struggle, but it had a lot of actual
the show is very progressive,
like when you think about it,
being a show in the 90s, and showing the broken families and the homes and the different dynamics that are
because Chucky's and mom had passed away, right? And then so you see all that, and it had a lot
adding
of
a family, and
then had Susie as well, and you add that in there, and
so there's lots of dynamics that they showed in there, and they questioned a lot of things, and I think it was really cool to see. You don't notice it. See, we don't notice these things when it's told in good storytelling.
Exactly.
When we're there, and then we come back to it, and we're like, damn.
It said that.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I am not as angry.
Right? So then when you watch the stuff now, and you're like, there is literally no substance to this whatsoever, then I question it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like Ren and Stimpy. There is no substance there. It's made to make you laugh and make you think that you're highbrow, comedy wise.
And yes, it feels like I almost had this existential feel to it. Like, do I not understand it because I'm not smart enough, or what is the problem? No, it's just because I can't let go and just be ridiculous about it. Right? So
But, you know, as you go on, if you look it up, you look up the creator and some of his beliefs, it makes it harder to watch that show.
Yeah.
So Ren and Stimpy, not Rugrats.
So what's some of your others?
For me, Rocko's Modern Life.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Rocko's Modern Life.
That has been in our heads now for weeks, and this is like our thing now. We do that, and our son's like,
it's like a Marco Polo thing in the house.
It is, totally. It's like as soon as he says that, then I have to respond. Modern Life. Rocko's Modern Life.
She couldn't help it, man. She couldn't help.
I'm compelled to finish it.
I'm compelled to finish the Rockos. You know, that was another one of the ones. You notice the trend here. Mike likes the really weird things.
Oh, don't worry. I have weird things too.
Because you know, Rocco's kind of got that, you know, he's a wallaby and he does his thing and he's all kind of, you know, and Mr. Big Head and, you know, Heifer.
I liked Heifer. He was always my favorite. You know, he's like the Patrick.
Right? It just really strange. It put them in weird situations that you laughed at as a kid because you're like, it can't be like that as an adult.
And then you
become an adult and you go, oh, they were telling us the truth all along.
We just couldn't handle it, right?
Because I recently watched some current episodes with Kiddo because he was like, well, what is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're going to watch Rocko's Modern Life. And he's just sitting there going, huh? And I'm going, oh, no, why? Because, it's all just kind of the way it is in the life and...
Yeah.
Yep.
So we watched the special on Netflix.
We watched the Netflix special.
Which is what prompted, the old rewatching. Because we were like, oh, kiddo, we're going to watch this with him. And he's like, what is this?
Why are we watching this?
So, Netflix special.
Static Cling came out a couple weeks ago. Yes. If you haven't watched it, please do, because I found it hilarious.
We were hysterical.
In the first few seconds, the superhero dude shows up and he's all very much we're going to use my nipples of time. We looked at each other like, what the hell? Did he just say nipples of time? To speed it up 20 years into the future.
Yep. So that just set the precedent right there.
Yeah, there you go. But it shows, and they showed some of the stuff you've probably seen in the trailers and stuff, but, they get back to Earth after being gone for 20 years, and everything's changed, and it's them trying to deal with all the changes that have happened.
How fast things are moving, just within the time period that they're there.
Yeah. And, they do like a pub crawl, but they're at like coffee shops.
Which has made me want to do a Starbucks pub crawl in town. I totally fell prey to that. I'm like, why have we not done this before?
I know, right?
Because there's 2 new Starbucks in town that we have not been to. And this is sacrilegious.
Is there only 2 that we
only 2 that we have not been to, yes.
Okay. So. But yeah, we need to do a coffee crawl.
Yep.
Maybe we'll need to put that on the story.
Oh, coffee.
Maybe that'll be an episode.
Yeah.
A coffee crawl.
Can we come down and record after that?
Coffee at every Starbucks in town. So that's 1, 2... Does that include the ones inside the grocery stores?
No, those are not coffee shops.
Okay, well, I wanted to check.
So 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. It's only 7.
That's only 7 cups of coffee.
We're good.
That's not too bad.
No. I can't believe we have 7 in town.
We might have to have a bucket beside us to pee in, but while we record. Because
that was what you wanted to know.
Just what I'm doing right now.
Oh my goodness.
You drop F-bombs. I get inappropriate.
I am watching my mouth.
I'm watching it too, but from afar. But yeah, Rocco Static Cling. I don't know where we're going with this. So.
It was hilarious. Okay, we need to focus. It was funny.
It was funny. Whatever. It was funny. You should go watch it. It's totally funny.
I'll give you 2 guesses. What's in our cup of rat?
Yeah, I'm not answering that. Anyways, so there's something that happened in Rocco's Static Cling that I think was ingenious and awesome.
No spoilers.
Oh,
spoilers. Are you kidding me?
Well, okay. So the from Mr. Big Head's son.
We can do somewhat spoil.
Roger.
Yes.
Right. Was it Roger? Is it Roger?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
It started with an R. Unfortunately, I can't remember.
But they go to find him because the fatheads aren't on air anymore, and Rocco's just like, the fatheads aren't on air. I can't deal with this. What the heck? And so they go looking for Roger, and they find out that Roger has become Rachel.
Yes, and she's extremely happy.
Extremely happy, selling ice cream. And what's I thought was fantastic was all the characters, when they find Rachel, they're like, oh, cool. Okay. But now you need to make fatheads again.
Yeah.
Right. There's not a blip on it. And I give the Nickelodeon and the creators kudos for doing that.
Yes.
Because
that's what it should be.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing was our son went ahead and he stopped it and he was like,
I don't understand.
Whoa. Dudes can become women. So we had the conversation.
Yeah.
And our beliefs and all that, and that it's okay to do, and people feel this way and they do these things, and it's what it is. It's, you do you. So then we looked. You got any other questions? No. Cool. What do you think about that? That's okay. That's great. And he was fine with it, and we moved on. And I think that's one of the things where it was awesome to be able to have that conversation with him about it.
Yes.
On a subject that is touchy.
Yeah.
And can be hard for people. But it was nice to have.
And it was a way for us to prompt it
without being stressed.
By the way, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or being awkward with any other people that you don't know how to talk about it, Yeah. And so, that worked out really well.
So, so that was fantastic. And the movie itself deals with pretty much our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It is the idea of Rocco is stuck so much on on the Fatheads being a certain way that when the Fatheads finally gets a new special and it's different from what he wanted, he just loses his mind.
He freaks out. Everyone loves it, and he's just like, what the fuck? This is not it. There you go. There's your response. This is not right. Mike's face is priceless right now. He's got to recover.
So that happened. So he loses it, but then it's the idea that the Winds of Change shows up, and
literally the Winds of Change, which is fantastic,
and explains to him these things, and then he comes around to it, and that I think that's something that is that idea that we maybe remember something for being a certain way, and it's the way that we want to see it, and we love it, and it gives us joy, and then it changes, and then we can't handle it. Well, there's a difference between railing on it or letting go and being okay with it, or the other option is just don't watch it.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't mean that what you loved about it originally is gone.
Yes.
And you know what? For me, I have done a lot of growing up over the years and letting go of things. I was very much stuck in the past. Like, say, for music had to be a certain way, and if new music was the devil. I was very much against it, and it was so stressful to be like that.
Rock and roll.
Right? I was very much like, you need to listen to classic rock, and I was very angry about new stuff, and it was like, I almost felt like, well, if I like this stuff, how can I appreciate Led Zeppelin and the Beatles? I can still appreciate them. Just because I like something new does not mean that they are not still amazing. Maybe they won't move my soul like something old does, and that's okay. But I can find new ways and new things that they fit in. And it was so freeing, and I wish everyone in the whole world would be able to understand that concept, because it changed me as a person.
Well, I think that's just something people need to do, even just as for their movie watching.
Well, yeah, like in every single aspect, right?
Yeah.
You know, just because something is different does not mean that anything that you felt before is not valid or the same. And you can find different ways.
You know, my most hated term is ruin my childhood.
Yes.
No, it doesn't ruin your childhood, because your childhood happened. That happened in the past. We're in the present, and there's the
only
future.
thing it's affecting is literally right now.
And
the only thing that you could possibly say ruins your childhood is if you find out someone or something was completely different than what it was. But at the same time,
yeah, okay, yeah, well, but
that's such a small amount of time, amount of instances, right? But it still should not take away the joy that you actually felt at the time.
Yeah,
it does. It's history. It doesn't change anything. All that's changing is your view about it now.
Yeah,
you know, and now formulate new opinions and new views as a current state right now, and then move forward. You know, just save yourself the stress. See, we got deep now.
Yeah, we got real deep. Wow. That was like...
Thank you, Rocco.
That was Radnesia's, like, Radstalgia. Deep Moments, brought to you by Katie. But that is the whole thing, and that's what I liked about the special, was it touched on that, and it touched on how people can rail on things just because it's not the way that they wanted.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't remind them of what they had.
Yes.
And everything needs to change to be able to suit the people now.
Yes.
And things are being made for youth. They're not necessarily being made for us.
As 30-year-olds that are, you know, there's something that grew up with it. They're not making them for us.
Well, no,
they're making them for children like our son's age who need to find a new market, right?
And that's the thing. Everything needs to find a new market to keep it going on, because if it cannot find a way to keep it going on, then it's
going to be dead.
You know? So, but yeah, there's Rocco static.
There you go. Okay, that was intense, man. What about some other ones? You know what? Okay, another one I really loved was Angry Beavers.
Angry Beavers,
and they're two beaver brothers, and they're so different. One is just like super cool and everything's awesome, and one is so high strung and just
You should have. I wish I had that on tape, because she looked like a little mini Hulk.
But I have a special memory of this one, because this was one of the ones that my mom really loved too, and she would watch with us, and she still thinks it's hilarious. Like, she actually has the pops of them because she was so excited. And I could not tell you any specifics about the episodes, but I remember that it was just ridiculous. It reminded me of SpongeBob feel. You know, it's just...
You know, it actually reminds me more of Ren and Stimpy.
You're right. It does. See, and because I didn't know Ren and Stimpy, that was like my version of Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
That's what I would be able to say.
Because it's just that, like, it's the odd couple.
It's the odd couple
together,
feel. Yeah,
right?
You're right.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had weird scenarios. So you're right. That was like a lighter version of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And so, Mom, you were okay with that. Just know that.
Apparently, you need to listen to the episode. But notice there's a theme though with almost every Nicktoon that at least we enjoy. There's the Odd Couple pairing, because that's even in Rocco's. We do Heifer and Rocco, and because the next one we're going to talk about is SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is classic.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Right, like this one here. This one sticks with me more than anything.
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones that came to me in my adult life. And it's the weirdest thing, because I remember it being just something that I ended up watching on a whim because there was nothing else and I didn't know what to do.
It's like, oh, SpongeBob is on.
Well, I was like, what is this? Okay. And yeah, it's optimistic and...
Guess what, people?
Bubbly and...
Mike is SpongeBob.
What?
He can totally be SpongeBob. I am not SpongeBob in the least. But the childlike charm and the happy-go-lucky, everything can be rainbows and sunshine. You have your moments. I, on the other hand, go between Patrick and Squidward.
I just want everyone to know listening that I am not saying any of this.
No,
this is all totally on her own admission.
Totally me. I love the intensity of each of one of those characters. There's so much of their own thing, right? And it's just such a great story because it's the pure personality types as one characters, right? And I think those always make the best stories.
Yeah, they're boiled down to their essence.
Right? Yes, exactly. And I think, the SpongeBob movies... The SpongeBob, the original movie, was absolutely hilarious.
That one there, I think, is always going to hold a very special place in our heart.
Very much
we went
so.
and we saw that. We were like the only adults in it.
We were hysterical. And
the SpongeBob movie, when they decide to go off because they got to find Triton's crown because Plankton's stolen it, and the fact that they run into the mermaid and she's all... I'm going to make you men. And they're all excited. And they're giddy. They're like, yes, yes, yes. It's got like that Beavis and Butthead moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yes, we're going to be men. We're going to be men, Patrick. We're going to be men. Oh my God. And she gives them mustaches.
Yep.
And that's how they become men, because she gives them seaweed mustaches. Yep. And they're like, we just became men. And yeah, because the underlining concept.
It's just hilarious, right? And no child could understand that at all, right?
No.
Oh, and then,
And then there's the Goofy Goober, because he thinks, I'm ready to become a manager, and he doesn't get it, so it's depression. And then he goes to the ice cream bar, and he eats his sorrows away, and he just looks completely drunk.
It's so funny. Our son found that quite funny.
They go ahead and there's you're a Goofy Goober. Yeah. And
we sang that actually because that stuck with us for a long time.
I'm a Goofy Goober. You're a Goofy Goober. And, and then you think, oh, this movie can't get any weirder.
Oh, it can.
And then you get at the end when they're deciding that he shows up as a wizard. With a guitar.
Because that is just the most epic thing ever.
And he starts playing a rock version of I'm a Goofy Goober.
Yes.
And Patrick shows up in fishnet stockings and begins to dance like he's in a Van Halen video.
We need to watch this movie again.
I'm sorry, but if you can't laugh at that...
I'm sorry for you.
We can't hang. But, it's so weird. Now, to open admission, though, the second movie I disliked.
Yes.
I couldn't get it. It went from, the first movie was...
It didn't have that pushing of the edge, right?
It was completely weird, and everything was inappropriate.
Inappropriate humor is the best humor.
And that's why we're still on the air. And then the second one became too bleh.
Yeah.
It was too normal. There wasn't the same kind of perversion, I guess. But you look at that movie and I think about it, and it just is not age appropriate. And you see how SpongeBob is not necessarily age appropriate, but is able to speak to those that are age appropriate, and it's lasted 20 years.
Yeah, it's super impressive.
You know, even the latest special was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The birthday special.
Yep.
There was so much stuff in it that they just push. And
I love that David Hasselhoff showed up in the special. I mean, that was just like, yes! He's a submarine. It was the weirdest thing.
Well, like even in the movie there, the original movie, where it's like, well, we need to get to Bikini Bottom.
Oh, David Hasselhoff's pecs.
And he's like, I'll help you with that. And he sticks it between his pecs and shoots him into Bikini Bottom.
There's goals, man. Goals. Rocket powered pecs, man.
So SpongeBob's something we don't watch it frequently. Like we used to watch it a lot.
Yeah.
But you know,
I watched it at the dentist. Like, I'm not going to watch soap operas. What is this? I'm going to watch SpongeBob.
Hey, why not?
It's going to be awesome.
Why not?
Which was really funny because actually I had a whole conversation with our son about it the other day when I had gone to the dentist. And I told him all about it. He just was hysterical.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, Mom, you have to tell Dad what you watched. And I was like, okay, like, you're super excited about this. This funny. So.
But yeah, like, it's classic. It's going to last forever.
Yeah.
And it's got some really dumb stuff in it. But again, Nickelodeon has those cartoons that make you feel like you're watching something you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome.
Right?
So, yeah, SpongeBob.
So now on to something completely not in that realm. Jimmy Neutron.
Hi, Katie. Did you know that I have a llama? And it's the greatest llama that I've ever seen, and I painted it with glitter.
Oh, that's wonderful, Carl.
That is... Do you like llamas?
I do like llamas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like it when the llama gets near you? Apparently it got inappropriate.
Wouldn't be us if it didn't.
So, I was just wondering what you were doing, because, you know, Jimmy's not around anymore.
I love Jimmy.
And Sheen's a dick.
Oh, yeah. See, Jimmy Neutron is, you know, all about science, and I just thought that was...
Science, yeah. I guess Katie just bought science earrings. So that shows you why she loves Jimmy Neutron.
So, yeah, okay. So I found this pack of earrings. First off, I found the one that had protons, electrons, and neutrons on them. And then it had DNA strands and pi and E equals MC squared and the water molecule, H2O. So it was a whole set. Well, then I found another set that was just more simple, and it was just an atom with the swirly. You could see like the electron lines, and then it had the pi symbol, and then it had little DNA hanging earrings. I'm so excited. I have super nerd earrings.
And when she goes off like this, then I really do feel like I'm Carl. But there's another reason why I love Carl is because he's Rob Paulson. That's right, folks.
Of course.
It's the Paulson.
That's the only reason Mike knew about it. It's like, well, of course, I love it. It's Rob Paulson. Jimmy Neutron has a giant head, and I love his hair. It's coiffed perfectly. I don't know what you're talking about. My head's not huge, literally or figuratively. That's not true. I have a giant head.
I like how you gotta define these things. You gotta like tell the people that you're like, okay, no, he's serious. He's true.
He's really telling you the truth.
Literally and figuratively.
But yeah, I just mean. You know, that was just.
It was a silly show.
It was silly.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart was in the movie as the Eggman.
Yes.
I am the walrus. Cuckoo cuckoo. But yeah, you really liked Jimmy Neutron. Like you really liked it.
I really did.
That was one of those ones where like you told me about that. I remember it was a deep passion. Like it was just like
science rules.
I like this show, man. You gotta watch this thing. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And you're like, no, you gotta watch this show. I'm gonna sit you down. You're gonna watch this show. Okay. Jimmy Neutron is on now. Got a blast. And
yes, his little awesome dog. Yeah. Okay.
Speaking about science,
weird science.
Sorry,
we have gone off the rails.
Zim. Invader Zim.
Doom. Oh, Invader Zim is one of my favorite things ever. I love Invader Zim.
See, and Zim is another one of those ones that Nickelodeon made that is widely inappropriate.
Oh, so inappropriate.
Right? But it makes you feel like you should be watching it, and and Zim.
So I've watched, the cartoons, I've read the graphic novels, and it's just, Gur is hilarious.
taquito. I'm gonna sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom. I saw a monkey and a squirrel, and it was staring at me.
Yeah, he's kind of like this. Carl coming out there.
Well, it's robotic voice. It's kind of
it's the way it is.
But Zim, just that yeah,
because he's just so extreme.
I will conquer you.
And he's just so ridiculous, and Kim, the tallest and everything, they like hate him so much, and they're just like, why are you not going away? Like, we tried to throw you away and you still keep coming back, and he just can't get the hint. He thinks he's the greatest thing ever. And it's just that the simple battle and the weird things that he creates, and the fact, like, how can anyone not know that he is strange and an alien? And it's so funny. So then we watched the special that just came out, and that just dropped on Netflix. Entered the Florpus. And that one, honestly, I really enjoyed it for about the first half of it. And then it started getting a little bit more...
What was longer?
Yes, it was. And I think it was drawn out.
Longer than Rocco's.
Yeah, like it was really funny at first. And then it just had a kind of a weird ending for it, right? Yeah. It didn't feel as much of a closure as I would have thought. Yeah. That nothing really truly happened, at all. Like, it was just... Everything just went back to the way it was.
Yeah. An hour and 11 minutes of your time that no one changed.
Yep. But, Gur's like, so one of my plans is you're going to order me a bunch of pizzas.
A million pizzas.
And we're going to roll around the pizza.
And then going to be a giant pizza. I think that's the best line in the movie. Sitting there
eating nachos and just like... it's so weird. And like the weird robot parents and the gnome, security guards and everything. And it's just... That was one of the things that I just loved. And the micro moose. The pivotal micro moose.
Sorry, mini moose.
Mini moose.
Not micro.
The pivotal mini moose. That's one of my favorite pops is the giant pig with Zim and Gur.
Well, that thing's beautiful.
It's so fantastic. I'm so glad.
I guess I'm going to have to do a bit of a Nickelodeon
themed pictures.
Yeah, I got Rocco, we got SpongeBob, and we got Zim.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, no, Zim is funny just because it is that completely weird, like, just dirty, like...
Yeah.
show, right? And it's so questionable, and and you don't really know who you should be rooting for.
No, because
should you be rooting for Zim? Should you be rooting for Dib?
Yeah, he's not a nice guy, right?
Yeah,
Dib is an asshole, and so you're like, well, like, he's just so angry all the time, and he's just gone crazy, right? And Zim is just, so you just root for Gur, because that's what it turns into. That's just
until he shot that puppy into space.
I shot a puppy into space. I shot it again.
He became truly evil in that moment.
Yes, that was like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Focusing. But yeah, no, those are some of the great shows that we enjoyed.
Apparently we get really giddy about them. If you couldn't tell.
We've got one more. We've talked about it a bit.
Just to wrap it up with some like intense awesomeness.
Intense awesome intensity.
Yes.
Radicity.
I don't know.
Intenseradity.
I don't know.
Awesome.
What is it?
TMNT. Nickelodeon got the rights to TMNT, and they rebooted it back in 2012, and it had 4 fantastic, glorious seasons of amazing joy.
Yes, I think that was perfectly describing it.
Beyond,
everything about it was fantastic.
Yeah, it blows for me all the other seasons out of the water, and I loved TMNT ever since I first saw the cartoon in the 80s because it brings in something from every era of TMNT lore, throws them in a blender, mixes them up, and just puts them out there in a great story.
Yeah, well, it's so dramatic and funny and layered. Yes. It's not a simple story. No. There is depth to it.
There was so much going on, and it was Jason Biggs at the first season, and then Seth Green took over.
Yeah.
And you got Rob Paulson and Sean Astin and Greg Sipes.
They did such a fantastic job.
They created the Turtles, and they brought them to life in a whole new way that was just fantastic.
Well, you know what? They each were individual personalities, and they each had their pros and cons.
Yeah.
They weren't just all... Because when you watch some of the old stuff, they were just... You can't really tell the difference between them all.
Yeah.
They were all kind of the same
the art
thing.
department couldn't tell the difference between
the art department, yeah, exactly.
Because you can watch episodes and see voices changing between the turtles and
I know, it's
bandanas.
fantastic. But they were all very unique and very, they had so much to work on. They developed them over the seasons as well. They weren't just a one-dimensional character by any means.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the 2012 Turtles, seek it out because the stories that they told in there are fantastic and they enrich the entire everything. And there's just so much humor. We talked about it a bit. We had an episode Inside Mike and talked about Turtles, but it just became like, it was so sad to see it go because there was stuff in there that
was heartbreaking.
There was stuff in there that was like super dramatic that was just like, did they just do this in a kid's cartoon?
Yeah.
Like when they started like cutting off Shredder's head, or they killed Splinter twice.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and just,
I love Splinter in this one too. He was
real.
He was a father to them. Like
and a sensei.
Yes.
Right.
Just such an intense emotional development. You could feel that connection and that love and that respect, right? So
yeah.
It was all. Yeah, please go and watch it.
Yeah, watch it all if you haven't.
If you have, watch it again. It's amazing.
One thing we missed, we didn't write it down, but Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh yeah, Timmy.
Yeah, that one there. That was another one of those ones. It's like really weird, and just kind of fun.
The fairies.
I don't have a lot to say about it because it's one of those ones where I can put in the background and I can just watch and laugh.
Yeah.
But the fairies in it are fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially because you got like that Arnold Schwarzenegger looking one that controls the fairy king or whatever it is. But that's another one that's funny.
Yeah. It's impressive. They just are very pivotal part of our future or past. Part of our future.
Oh, they might be.
Hopefully. Yeah. Start making some good things again, right?
Right. But yeah, no, Nickelodeon definitely, I think, is an underdog still when it comes to cartoons because they've had a great stable that has really affected an entire generation and has done things for
a lot of Nickelodeon was a lot of live action stuff.
Yeah.
I really grew up with a lot of their live action shows, those types of things. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So
well, they have tons of ones that we didn't even talk about. There's Doug and there was Real Monsters.
Yeah, we watched all those for sure.
And
Real Monsters.
Yeah, right there it is. Yeah, so it's like they have something going for them, and it's really cool to see. And I hope that they were able to continue the tradition of pushing those boundaries, especially with the social status that they have.
Agree.
What they're showing because they don't seem to be scared of it.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Dum 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 dum. Last week we had the interview with Theo from Insayiandragonball about
special Cup of Rad correspondent,
right?
Theo.
5 fandoms, 5 characters, and guess what? Here it is, part 2 of that interview. And we're rolling on down the road with Theo in 5 and 5. 5 fandoms, 5 characters. We just did Smallville, which was Lex Luthor. And now we're going to do another CW show that's had a very long tenure, coming up on 15 years. Supernatural.
Very crazy. I can't believe they're actually going to end it.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, actually. I was kind of hoping they just go forever, but...
when they get to Bobby's age, they'll be old, drunk, and bitter. They'll be like grumpy old men.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
They need to do like a weird like flash forward episode, a what if almost. Copy the grumpy old man.
They kind of did that when Dean gambled his years away and he was like really old.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. And him and Bobby were just arguing and then Sam's like, it's just like grumpy old man.
It's so classic. Cool. It's a fun show, right? That whole freak of the week monster horror movie kind of thing. So it's just a great it's like an introduction to horror for people,
it
as they
kind of is. Like I will say that when I was first watching it in 2005, it was some scary shit. Like I would actually tape it, on my VHS. I still had that back then. And I would watch it the next day during the day. So I wouldn't have, crap.
It was more intense back in the day. Like it definitely felt more horror based in the first seasons until
now it's just like more fantasy.
Yeah.
Than, horror.
Once they got more into the angels and demons and all that, it kind of broke into different territory. They pushed some limits on some of the gore a little bit more for network television. but it kind of lost a bit of that creepy factor.
Yeah, the creepy, the jump scare, the what's going to happen, that's what really draws you, and it's kind of lacking in the later seasons. They had it pretty good first couple, especially when the show was fresh.
Yes.
Just didn't know what to do. Now we're thinking, what kind of monster could this be? Mm-hmm. Like we've seen them all now. So there's nothing new.
Yeah.
Apart from they'll probably just reach into the back of the Bible and pull something out of it. Because I think that's where they get all their script writing from now.
Yeah, they're starting to pull a lot from there. So.
But you want to know what my favorite character is from Supernatural.
Yeah, what is your favorite character from Supernatural?
Has to be Dean Winchester, the man.
Okay. So what about Dean Winchester makes him your favorite character?
Well, I'll take you on a little trip in a time machine. Okay, so Supernatural, first aired in 2005. Right from the start, I was Team Dean. Team Dean. Like, he doesn't muck around. He takes charge, and he gets the job done. Because I think there's a lot of depth and layers to his character. So he's the big brother, the first son, and the good soldier who follows orders. He's fearless, direct, but on the other hand, he's a real goofball that loves singing karaoke and has, like, guilty pleasure in Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. But, like, you see, I've always dug his style and the vibe that comes from that style. It's his flannel shirts, leather jackets, classic rock music, and, of course, the Impala. Beautiful car.
I think everyone loves the Impala. I'm not even a car guy, and I love the Impala. So,
but it's cool. I think they've got 3 Impalas on the set. One that's like a fully drivable car, and 2 that's chopped in half for interior shots. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe that's why the show is ending. Because I remember them saying it was getting harder and harder to find Impalas, like a few seasons back.
Yeah.
That's probably the real reason, right? They're like, we've exhausted, we've destroyed it so many times, and we can't rebuild it anymore. The show has to end.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember that moment when, at the end of season 1, and they're just, they failed to kill the yellow-eyed demon, and then they're driving the Impala, and all of a sudden they get, T-boned by that giant truck, and I was just like, what? No!
That was probably one of the most incredible cliffhangers I had seen on TV in forever.
It was damn good television. Damn good.
That was just shocking.
What, I have to wait till next year? They did a lot of good cliffhangers in, the lead up to it.
Yeah.
Especially, centered around, the Colt revolver, with they only had, X amount of bullets.
Mm-hmm.
You're wondering, they've got 1 bullet left, what are they going to do with that? That's it. They only got 1 shot. Shit,
Well, yeah, that show has constantly had a cliffhanger after cliffhanger, and I think that's, for me, a cliffhanger for television is a fantastic device. It's a great thing to be able to use, to be able to draw you back, to give you the want and drive to come back. Right now we're watching Sabrina Part 2, and there was one moment where I was like, wow, this is the perfect cliffhanger, but there's still 3 episodes left this season. And then the next one, and there was a perfect cliffhanger. I was like, this is what shows are missing, because now we just have it where it just keeps going. We can just binge watch it, and we don't have to wait. And then sometimes when they come to their end of their season, they've kind of given you that buffer episode where you're like, everything's okay. I'll be okay waiting now because I know my characters aren't in peril. But Supernatural has consistently given us that, oh my goodness, they're injured, they're dead, they're dying, something's exploded. It's pretty intense. So I'm curious to see how this whole season will, round out. Are we going to get a nice little bow, or are we going to get doom and gloom?
Well, I think they'd have to end it on a peaceful or happy note. It'd be very interesting to see how they actually do it.
See,
in season something they wanted to close the gates of hell. I thought that was where hell was going to end.
Yeah.
But they just kept going.
Yeah.
The thing about Supernatural, at the end of every season, so the majority, basically the recipe for it is, we've vanquished what we've come to, kill, and that threat is eliminated, but from that threat spawns another threat.
Yep.
It's I've killed, I've killed death. I've taken off the mark of Cain. We're all good. What's this crap? Oh, darkness. Oh no. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I almost wonder, because one of the episodes we watched, because we are still a season behind, they talked about how they're still connected to their vessels from before with the whole Michael and the Lucifer thing for Sam and Dean. So I'm still wondering, because I thought about this way back by like season 5. Is it going to turn out that each of them are going to have to go to their respective places and become the rulers of those areas, you know? So they're not going to,
wow, yeah, that's heavy.
They're not going to die per se, but they're going to, because it's almost like them taking on those duties that Dean can never let go of. Sam can never let go of. They are going to always feel connected, because you can't really rid the world of evil. I think that would be almost a little too Hollywood feel, like bright and shiny. So I that's what I wonder. I wonder if it's going to be where they're going to have to just accept those rules, and one's going to go up and one's going to go down. And that's how they're going to be able to control it and put the balance back into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm dark and twisty, right? So that's how I would do it. And everyone would be like, oh my God, I feel so depressed.
Either that, or they just find Chuck, God, and put a God-killing thing to his head, and he's like, fix everything. Fix it now. We want to retire.
Yeah, right?
That's probably like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's going to be a wild and winding road for sure.
No, it will be.
They just showed pictures that they're starting filming already. So.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what they're going to do for a job after this. You know, if they'll go on and do anything else. They haven't done many movies. They've always been TV.
No, they hadn't. I know Jensen Ackles at one point tried to be Captain America, and they wanted him for Hawkeye instead. And he wasn't quite keen on the role. But then the filming for Supernatural got in the way. So then he had to back out. And that's that story. I think he would have been a better Hawkeye. If he had been Hawkeye, I would have been like losing my shit.
Jeremy Renner's all right, but Jensen Ackles, he would have made it.
Right? Because he's got when you see Dean when he's silly, right? That cocky silly. That's like Matt Fraction's run of Hawkeye. Like I see that and I'm like, oh, we could have had that. Oh, so. But speaking of that,
the episode where he gets the rabbit foot, and then he like walks in and saves Sam and throws a pen into a gun barrel of the bad guy. He's like, I'm Batman.
Right.
But see, I've always seen Dean as the responsible one between him and Sam. So like. It's pretty deep because let's go back to the start. As we gather the information on the brothers' lives at the start of the series in season 1, here's a picture. Sam's abandoned his life with Dean and their father as a hunter to pursue a college education in hopes of becoming a lawyer and living what is referred to as a normal life, quote unquote. But pretty much, he's washed his hands of his responsibility to destroy evil, supernatural, and left the family business, saving people and hunting things. That's right, I went there. This is why I have a lot of respect for Dean. His knowledge of the existence of ghosts, vampires, werewolves, anything supernatural and how to kill it, it's his responsibility, and he doesn't shy away from it. He knows that not everybody's cut out to be a hunter, but he is, which means he does this so other people don't have to. But a big theme of the show would probably be family, if you could agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also
family.
It's also not just the family you're born with; it's the family you create, right? Which is pretty interesting and good message, I think, because I think all the time is that we're always assumed that blood is thicker than water, and yes, the brothers treat blood is thicker than water, but they've been open enough to accept others into their circle. They create a family of their own, right? Which I think is a great message that. You can also create that family. Yeah,
absolutely. Like the Lego Batman song, Friends of the Family You Can Choose.
Right?
Love this song. Friends are family. But family's everything for Dean. Because as he lost his mother at a very young age, he makes sure he protects what he has left. We see this when he bargains his soul at the crossroads to bring Sam back to life. But through the years... Dean's been through many hardships, First was losing his mum, then his dad, then being ripped apart by hellhounds and sent to hell. And he was there for 30 Earth years, and being pulled out of hell and tried to prevent the apocalypse. losing his brother to the devil and locking him in the cage, which resulted in moving on from hunting and living without Sam. And that's just the first 5 seasons. They're pretty heavy.
That's why it's so epic.
But I do relate a lot to Dean. Like, I understand why he's that way and why he does what he does. I never grew up with a sibling, you know, but I do understand family. I would even say that family, and extended family, is the biggest theme of the show. But if there's any qualities I'd share with Dean, it'd be my music choice, my confidence, and I'm an easy dude to talk to, and I like to have a beer. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But I've also even adopted a couple of his one-liners that he said throughout the show. I say these things sometimes daily without even noticing. Like, my favorite one is like, hey, to people, if I just don't want to talk to them anymore, I can beat it. It's good shit.
If you ask Katie, I always use the pudding reference, so that's mine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Pudding!
Did you bring pie? That's good shit. I know you like pie, Mike.
I do like pie. It's good. It's hard to find, though.
Is it? Wouldn't you just make it?
Yeah.
You're pretty good at cooking.
Yeah, well, I do make it. I really hate heating the house up in the summer, and that's when we got all the good berries. So I'm a berry pie guy. I like blueberry pie, and so
I've never had one. We don't have that down here.
That's insane. Oh yeah, because you guys have meat pies, right?
Yeah, but we still have apple pie.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, no one really makes it themselves. We just go to the supermarket and buy it frozen and put it in the oven.
Gotcha.
And, like, dump ice cream and custard all over it. It's pretty good.
Well, if you ever make it up this way, we'll get a pie. We'll make a pie.
Yeah, that's it.
There'll be a YouTube video for you. Forget figure reviews. Today on Insayiandragonball, Mike and me are making a pie.
Cooking with Mike and Theo.
People will be like, wait, what? And then there's just a Dragon Ball figure will just suddenly show up. And it'll be like, oh, there it is. Thank God. I've been waiting for that.
Oh, by the way, here's the new SHF. Yeah, real cool. Pie. Well, I say that would be the end of Dean Supernatural.
Yeah, I think Dean is probably he's the most relatable character out of all of it, you know, for sure. You know, Sam, he's almost too sensitive in some cases. I know there's the team Moose and Squirrel, but you know, myself, I like the tough guy persona of Dean. The last few seasons, I've gotten a little bit more annoyed with him, though, because he's kind of lost a bit more of his silly. He's been a little bit more gruff, but it's all the stuff that's happened to him, right? So for myself, Dean is really the one that I enjoy from that, and it always has been, because that's your introduction more to the show, is that character and his journey. As much as it's both brothers, you can definitely tell that the main focus is Dean's journey through it and how everything that happens changes him more than Sam, really.
Oh, I'd like to take a minute and just point out that Sam's a little bitch. Like, I'm serious. It's like, oh yeah, you know, Dean's gone. I'm just gonna hang out. When like Dean's at home, I'm gonna hang out with this demon chick, and I'm just gonna plow her a couple of times and drink some demon blood, get me all jacked up, so I can, you know, fight evil. That's like that constant line, you know, when they do like the, you know, previously on Supernatural with the "Carry on my wayward son." There's this line where Dean goes, "You chose a demon over your own brother." Damn right he did. What a bitch.
That's fantastic. Well, yeah, it's never been the one I focused with, because, you know, Jensen Ackles, both are fantastic in the show, but, you know, you just love that character of Dean. So
yeah, no, Sam should just run down to Stars Hollow and just go and marry Rory from Gilmore Girls. So.
Thank you for allowing me to now be able to tag Gilmore Girls in my.
Yeah, we said it.
So now what I need to do is I'm gonna take that, see if that sound clip comes out perfectly, and that's gonna be one of those sound clips I use now. So then everyone will be like, wait, one of Theo's fandoms is Gilmore Girls? What?
That's gonna get people thinking. People are like, I gotta get in on this.
Bum, bum, bum. Come back next week for part 3. So there it is, Supernatural. Dean is his favorite character, so throwing it at you.
Theo, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. Just to fuck with things. No.
We're at 2. We're not even PG-13 this week. It's an episode about cartoons.
I know, right? I'm going to say Sam.
You just like that flowy hair?
It is, because he reminds me of my husband. You know what? Honestly, though, I mean, I love both of them. My problem is right now, if you're going to ask me that, if you would ask me, say,
10 years ago,
3 or 4, oh my God, 10 years ago, it would have been much harder to decide. But Dean has gone so long being so angry now that it's hard to not see him like that anymore. I liked Dean when he was confident and cocky and flirty and
full
silly.
Of spit and vinegar.
Right? When he was silly, right?
Yeah.
And
the eye of the tiger moment.
That was one of the best things ever. And he's gotten that so beat out of him. And so I really do like Sam and is trying to find the positivity of things. By all means, both of them do things where I'm like, what the hell? Why are you doing that? And I mean, that's what makes the show great. They go back and forth with each other. If one is doing that, then the other one's not. And that's the whole point, right? But yeah, that's I'm gonna go with Sam.
You're gonna slap Sam on the face. You're going for the moose.
Team Moose, man.
Team Moose.
Team Moose.
Team Moose. Team Squirrel. Hey, you know what? That's what it takes. It takes a multitude of people to enjoy different things to be able to keep a fandom like that going for so long.
Yes.
So as we roll into season 15.
Wow. You know what? I remember at season 5, we're like, it's not going to keep going, right? And then it just keeps going. And then we're like, okay, season 10, that would make sense for it to stop. And it just keeps going.
And like I've said before, now I'm disappointed it's ending at season 15 because I'm like, why? Why can't you get to 25? Be original. Don't different.
Be a bitch.
Exactly.
We already got the PG-13.
We're going for the R now. Oh, I can say balls. Anything now? Anus.
It's all free game now.
Okay, teabag, got it.
Oh yeah. See, and then I'm not the one that ruined it.
I didn't ruin. I made it better.
Okay. Teabags make things better. I ruined it, right?
I just used more colorful language to spruce it up, so it wasn't the same.
Sorry, I forgot. Colorful language. Okay,
it's colorful.
On our Nickelodeon cartoon.
It was
yeah, good stuff.
So there you have it. There it is. Nickelodeon tunes, the Nickelodeon that inspired us to be the
wonderful people we are today.
Let's just sit and think about that for a moment. Apparently, I was more affected by Ren and Stimpy than I thought.
Right?
You idiot! So there we have it. There it is. There is another episode of Cup of Rad.
We made it. You made it.
Yeah.
You should feel proud of yourself for sticking through all the weird giddiness. I feel impressed.
So there it is. Another episode of Cup of Rad. Be prepared to tune in next week when you will find out if Katie will drop the F-bomb. Will Mike use more colorful language? Will there be more cartoons on the next episode of Cup of Rad?
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
Yep, that's it.
There we go.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone.
Stay rad.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!